insurance is
Can
ridiculous.
we discuss it?
Because it's insurance of any form, though. Whether
All of
it's
them.
medical, whether it's car insurance.
All of them.
All that shit is a scam. Because, again...
I'm literally getting mad thinking about insurance.
I think I'm getting loud.
I'm literally getting
I'm
upset.
My damn self.
Like...
Thank you for tuning in to Sip on This with A Paris. About to get lit with these topics. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for the love and your time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Without further ado, I bring to you this for you to sip on too.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sip on This. First and foremost, thank you guys that have been tuning in thus far, and welcome to those of you that are new to the channel. As you see, I invited back somebody from episode 2.
Was it episode 2?
It was episode 2.
Wow.
So I had actually this cool idea in mind where I would bring back the first 2 people I did episodes with and have them close out the last 2 episodes for this season. So sis stopped through.
I am so honored.
Yeah, sis came through or whatever. I actually got a lot of good feedback for your episode too. Everyone said that you were pretty hilarious. I was about to say an inappropriate word.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
But yes, so maybe I should still introduce you for the people that don't know who you are.
I'm Sarita, just to let everyone know.
Cousin Sarita, fellow light-skinned Cousin Sarita.
Mm-hmm. At Sincerely Sarita on Instagram. If you want to follow me, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm going to put all her information down in the description below per usual. But in regards to tonight's topic, I figured we could jump into why is adulting so ghetto?
As fuck.
So what made me think about this is actually, again, if you tune into a lot of these podcast episodes, you'll know that I'm pretty addicted to TikTok. It's like serious. And I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those people that was against TikTok. I really didn't understand it at first.
Same.
But it's like as the months went on, I just got sucked up into it. And now that I'm on it, I can't stay off of it.
So are you on it more than Instagram?
At one point, yes, but it's back scale to like 50-50 at this point.
Okay. I finally did download the top.
Mm-hmm. Not the top.
But I do like it, but I'm not addicted to it. Like I'll go days without even getting on TikTok. I'm just not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
But there'd be funny stuff up there though.
Yo, when I say I think the reason why I find it so funny is because for one, I didn't expect that. I didn't know what the hype was about. So then when I got up there, I feel like it's basically just like a visual version of Twitter.
Yeah.
Because Twitter is pretty out of control. Like, it's some characters on Twitter. And mind you, I stopped using Twitter years ago, but it makes me think about back when I first got on Twitter.
You know what I miss? I miss Vine.
So, a lot of people say TikTok is like Vine, but I feel like TikTok is better than Vine. I feel like you can do a lot more with TikTok.
TikTok's definitely better than Vine. Vine was like, you only had seconds.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have time.
Yeah.
But it used to be so funny back in the day.
It was hilarious. And a lot of people that were big on Vine are now, like, legit famous, which is crazy.
Yeah, they are.
But the reason why I brought up TikTok is because I saw a video that struck a nerve that made me think of tonight's topic. Basically, it was a TikTok of several people do different renditions of it, but I just saw another girl do it yesterday to where, like, basically the people keep reenacting being grown, but having to call like their parents or like someone older for every single thing they do. And for instance, the girl, she was like, "Hey mom," she was like, "I found," she said, "I have a headache. I have this medicine, but it says the instructions say I should take one every few hours, but is that how you take it, or do I do more? Like,
I don't want to overdose."
Yeah, it's like, what do I do? Or it's like, gosh, it was another one where they were like, it was something so stupid though. It was like, hey, something's wrong with, gosh, it was something like common that like will go wrong in the house. And they're like, so what do I do to fix this?
Yeah.
So, like, do I call somebody? Can you come and do it? Like, it was...
Yeah.
So it just made me think about how you think you're grown until you really get out in the real world and you're like, you know what? I'm not grown. I still need a lot of
assistance.
People. Yes, for assistance.
Okay.
So
I still be calling my daddy.
I was about to say, so what are some things that you feel as though you were not prepped for, or you
Everything.
thought you...
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say things that you thought you were well equipped for until you got out here and you were like, no, I'm actually not as grown as what I thought I was.
I mean, basically everything. Like, you just don't know. Literally everything. I feel like they don't tell you, of course, when you graduate that you're not going to find a job.
Ooh. Let's talk about
They tell you that, girl, as long as you have a degree, you're going to find a job and you're going to leave college and be making a whole bunch of money. That does not happen. I mean, it does happen.
It's rare.
And it's very rare. And if that has happened for you, that's fantastic. It did not happen for me.
I don't think it happens for most.
No,
so.
It did not happen for me.
Yeah.
That's one of the major things, because you go to college and it's like, oh, after I graduate, my life is going to start. And it's like,
yeah.
No, bitch, those bills start.
Yeah, listen,
okay? Immediately.
That's funny that you're touching on this, because in my HBCU versus PWI episode, me and Martisha touched on that towards the end of the episode, where we were like, you really aren't equipped for a lot of things as you think you are. And part of the blame is because of the mindset that you have going into college.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, oh, if I major in this is going to
make me money.
Guaranteed money, success, so on.
Yep.
So have you. And it's like, when you get out here, it's like...
It's hard,
what?
bro.
Yeah.
It's hard, bro. Like, I majored in biology. Well, you did too.
Yeah.
And so, originally, I was going to do physical therapy. And then I was like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was going to do that.
I learned a lot about my people during these podcast episodes. I'm like, what? I had no idea. But anyway.
Yeah, I was going to do that. But I was like, let me take a year off. And then I took a year off and like decided didn't go back.
Listen.
But like, even with a biology degree, like they tell you, girl, you have a biology degree, you can do anything. Mm-hmm. So that's not what happened. I was working at Planet Fitness part-time.
I remember that.
Yeah. And then I was also working at a cold calling place for like insurance. Mm-hmm. And that was for like a year. That may have been like a year or so.
Why do I just remember the Planet Fitness more than the insurance?
Because I did that longer. I did that while I was still in college and then continued some after. Mm-hmm. But I did mostly of like the cold calling place. Mm-hmm. But like, that had nothing to do with biology. And I was applying to all, like when I tell you, I wasn't like a slacker, like waiting to the last minute after I graduated to apply. I was applying before I graduated, letting them know like I graduated in May, like what's up, nothing. Like crickets upon crickets. And then people I did hear from. Yeah. You need to have more experience. You need like experience. Like, where's your experience? Yeah. Can I, like, I've never worked. Like, can I get experience from you? Right. Like, this is an entry level job. Right.
That's what used to annoy me, is the fact that you're applying for entry level positions, but they want you to have X amount of years of experience for a entry level position. And it's like,
it makes no sense. What do you want me to do? Right. How do you think? Like, literally, I didn't get into the clinical research industry until, like, it took me years to even get to close to something that had to do with my major. I mean, I was working at the credit union. That had nothing to do with my major. Yeah. And I even when I left the credit union, I had to take a pay cut in order to get into the industry. They don't tell you have to do stuff like that sometimes. They don't tell you that. No. And that crap is hard. Yeah. Taking a pay cut and you got bills. Like, all to yourself?
They don't care.
They don't care.
If you owe them, they're like, yeah, that's nice, but run me
my coin. Yeah. Yeah. So that was one of the major things for me, was adjusting to, like, life is not that sweet just because you have a degree. Like, that's cute, but then now people are like, oh, well, you need your master's. Yo. That master's can kiss my ass. Yeah. Is what it can do. Yeah. So Yeah, that was, I think, the biggest thing for me. I was just like, this is ghetto. Like, I spent 4 years in school, in this private school, working my butt off to graduate on time. And now you're telling me, like, that wasn't enough.
Right.
Like,
more.
What? And then you want more money from me, bro? No.
So for me, I'm going to actually take it all the way back to college since we keep touching on college, right? This is when I knew I wasn't grown. I got to college, and I remember getting an email from financial aid. I can probably understand why you just chuckled a bit, because anybody in college, you can't tell me you can go 4 years through college and not have one incident with financial aid. There's no
Every
way.
year.
Ooh,
And my financial,
my
financial situation between like the 4 years didn't really change.
Nope.
But every single year there was a problem. I had to go up to the office. Every single year.
So, as she was saying, the first issue I had with financial aid, right? They hit me up and was like, "Oh, you still owe X amount for this."
They love to tell you still owe.
I'm like, what? So I call my mom and I'm like, Mom, financial aid just told me this wasn't covered, da 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 da. And my mom used to work at financial aid, but at state. So my mom was like, oh, so that means you need to go actually down to the office and see what it is they're talking about. I'm like, I gotta go to the office.
Honey.
She's like, yeah. I'm like, what am I going to say?
Like, you need to walk me through.
Right. So I get down there. I'm like, yo, what are y'all talking about? I received this notice saying that I still owe X, Y, and Z, whatever. So it was all this back and forth with them. Of course, it got sorted out. But to the point that you just said, I actually got audited every year by financial aid or whatever. And when I say I got audited, it was really my mom that got audited every year. And she was just like, being that her background was in financial aid, she was like, do you know how rare it is that you get audited for
every
one
year?
And the fact that you get audited every year? She's like, now this is flat out ridiculous.
Yeah.
So then, aside from the financial aid stuff, right, I remember even stuff like student housing. I remember at school, right, I remember, I think I touched on this in our other episode too, that I remember staying in an apartment and like I stayed in the hood too. I ain't gonna lie. So like my rent, to put in perspective, I stayed in a 4-bedroom apartment and all of us paid like $345 a month.
$340. I was paying $500.
So no,
God.
But see, there were other places that were paying like $400 and $500.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm
bet.
cheap.
Cool.
I was like,
Bet.
I'm okay with staying in the hood to save some money.
Yeah,
so
my parents weren't having that. Absolutely not.
So we used to get. Did you guys have overage caps?
Like for your water and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what pissed me off was the fact that, first off, the day I moved into my apartment, the AC broke. And we moved in over the summer, like right before school started. So it was literally on hell outside. And the damn AC was broke. So we went like the first week in our apartment with no AC.
The week?
Week.
Why couldn't they come fix it?
They didn't know what they were doing.
Bet.
So our AC unit was right. What the hell was that? Our AC unit was right in the wall when you first walked into the apartment. It broke and leaked all over the floor. We had carpet. So literally twice a year, every year because we stayed there for like 2 or 3 years. I can't remember. At the start of every like spring or summer, once the temperature started increasing, we would have to kick on the AC. It would break. Leak onto the carpet,
you
and
really
then what
lived
happened?
in the ghetto.
I lived like in the hood. I did.
Oh no.
So, but the overages pissed us off because you're told like, oh yeah, like you'll just split the overages, amongst the 4 years or whatever. Man, I got one overage bill, and the amount isn't crazy today. But back then when you're broke...
When you have no money in your bank account and that shit say $0.00.
Because I remember we got an overage bill and I think it was like $40. But
what?
It was $40 each.
Yeah, that's too much. So
I'm like... And mind you, when we got the bill, we were billed for the part of time that we weren't even there because it was during winter break when you're out of school for like a month. So we're like... None of us have been here for a month. How the hell did we run up or over
$40 each? That's ridiculous. No.
So little stuff like that, I don't think I was quite prepared for. And then to the point that you said, now when you graduate, you're like, oh, money about to just be coming in.
Money does not just come in. I tell you that.
Listen, does not grow on trees.
Does not.
So
you have to work hard.
For starters, like how you want to do physical therapy, I touched on this in some other episodes that I thought I wanted to do dentistry. So over this last weekend, so my sister just graduated high school on Friday. And Saturday at her party, myself, my older sister, and our cousin were talking, right? And we were just talking about different things we went through, like in school and stuff. And my cousin actually wants to go to dental school. And when we were talking, I was like, yeah, I knew dental school wasn't for me because of the amount of money you have to pay just to get into a dental school. Yeah. Because something I wasn't prepared for was the application fees, the cost to take the test. And like the cost to, let's say like, you submit these applications, these people come back and they invite you for interviews. You have to get to the school. Yeah, you have to pay for that. So it's just like, once I saw all that money adding up, I said, you know what, this is ghetto. This is not for me. I'm going to make something shake with just the degree.
Because then, even if you were to get in, you have to think about the loans that you have to take out in order to get through dental school. And you have to pay those back.
Speaking of paying back loans, something else I was not prepared for as an adult. That moment you cross that stage.
They put let me tell you something. The moment that you cross that stage, they let Sally Mae know that your diploma has been handed over.
Listen.
And the clock starts then.
Now.
Okay? They are coming.
Yo.
Whether you working or not, they are coming.
They don't care. Speaking of not working. Like you, I was not trying to procrastinate to get a job, right? So I was like, all right, like 2 months before graduation, I'm throwing out resumes. Nobody's hitting me back. They're all, nobody. You need experience. So, you know, I'm not that proudful of a person. If I need money, I need money. So
right, I'm at work.
I'm applying everywhere, bro. I was applying at grocery stores.
Yep.
All these places, and it was still like, okay, you're too qualified for this position. Then you'll come over here, oh, you're not qualified enough. So I started getting pissed off. So then I ended up working at the pharmacy, part-time, like $8 an hour with a fresh biology degree. Do you know that was a slap in the face?
I know.
After 4 years of schooling, this is the thing. So, like,
$8 an hour.
This is what I get.
Yeah, and you can't survive off $8 an hour.
Speaking of not surviving, even when they converted me over to full time, I don't think I ever hit a check that was $500 in 2 weeks.
It be like that. It literally be like that.
I think the biggest check I ever got was like $350. What am I going to do with that?
With $350.
What am I doing with that?
And it's crazy because I think back and I'm like, I literally used to work at Planet Fitness and I would never work more than maybe 15. When I was in school, I didn't work more than 15 hours a week. And I'm like, how was I surviving? How was I able to buy things? Like, what was happening? Because the money, there would sometimes be, not all the time, there would not always be money in the account.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know how I was eating. Because, like, gas, then I had to pay part of my rent, for the apartment. And it's like, in college, you going out, you know what I'm saying?
So
how was I? So I don't know how I was. I literally don't know how I was surviving.
But to touch on the going out part real quick, I came across this thing on Instagram a couple days ago when it was like, take me back to the days where I had no money but had the most fun clubbing in college. How were we able to do that?
My brokest times were my best times.
Like, but why is that?
Because we didn't have a care in the world. When we were broke, we didn't have bills that we were covering ourselves. So we weren't thinking about it. We were just happy as hell to be out of our parents' house.
Yeah.
And, we were just happy to have independence.
Yeah.
And happy to be able to party and drink and do whatever we wanted to do.
What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. But
I miss those days.
on the lowest of keys.
Because I'm tired of bills coming in my name. I don't know when that's...
Yo, that's the topic for another day. I was about to take it somewhere else. But, right, like, what is going on?
Sorry, technical difficulties.
Not technical difficulties. But something else that I was going to bring up, too, about what adulting did not prepare me for. We basically kind of been touching on it anyway, but just bills in general. Because I remember... So when I got my first apartment, right? So what happened, to throw my stuff out there a little bit. So I worked at the pharmacy for 6 months. Then I got my foot in the door in pharmaceuticals. Mm-hmm. So I got my first big boy job, right? So I'm like, oh, this is what money's supposed to look like. Like, I'm lit. So then I saved up for like a year and a half. Then I moved out, got my own spot. And then I literally lived, you remember my little shack I stayed in? It wasn't even, I don't even think it was 800 square feet.
Adam, I liked that apartment.
It was nice though, right? Because my stuff was nice.
Liked that apartment because I would come over on random days and he'd be cooking.
Oh, yeah.
And we would just sit over there and eat. I remember you cooking fried chicken and corn. It was like a random Tuesday.
Probably.
Those were the days.
But the thing is, things that I learned, like living by myself is... Speaking for myself, I feel like grocery shopping for a single person is hard. And I feel like it's because, especially someone like me that doesn't like leftovers, I realized I was spending, like I was wasting money on food. Yeah. So that's why.
Especially if you don't like leftovers, right. It's kind of not worth it.
Right, because for me, it was like every time I would cook something, I cooked way too much. And I'm like, now who going to eat the rest of this? Because I'm not eating all this.
So that's why I would come over and eat and help out.
Yeah, basically. But then, besides that too, again, speaking about bills.
I hate them.
So I remember, I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. So the first couple months I stayed in my apartment, I remember I got a big utility bill, like for the heat. Mm-hmm. It was like, now mind you, back then I worked 12-hour shifts. Yep. So I was rarely ever home like that. Bruh, I came home and the damn bill said like $200.
I know you fucking lying. Wait a minute. Why was it $200?
That was my question. And just like in that TikTok video, why I called my mom like she worked for the utility company. I was like,
explain my bill to me.
Why is my bill $200 for the month? The math ain't mathing. Yeah. And she's just like, well, it is, winter. This is I think it was technically like February specifically. Mm-hmm. And she was like, yeah, February here tends to be the month that like utility bills are the highest or whatever. I'm like, but what
that's
they gotta
fine,
do with me,
but $200?
$200 for a single person?
In less than 800 square feet? Absolutely not.
And then, now, aside from actually, I'll get back to the apartment and like the renting conversation in a second, but why is it that, do you remember how stressed you were when you got your house?
Yes.
And all these different things popping off dealing with a house and the home buying process that you had never experienced before.
Let me tell you what they don't tell you. It's like when you have a house and your front door breaks, you got to fix it yourself. They don't tell you that. Sis. I came home one day and I couldn't get into my house. Because my front door knob broke.
Sarita, how the hell did it?
I don't know. So, you know what I did?
What?
Beep, boop, beep. Call my daddy.
Of course.
And he took me into Lowe's and he fixed it. But they don't tell you. Like when you buy a house and stuff like when you're in an apartment, your maintenance people do all of that. You up, yeah. But when you have a house, like your door and stuff like that breaks, the AC breaking. That happened maybe like last year. I think our AC like went out and it was like 85 degrees in the house.
That is a genuine fear of mine because
it's a toughie.
Because bruh, I don't know if you remember this, but the day I closed on my house, I came in and it was on hell in here.
Really? I don't remember that.
I was burnt. Me and my mom was like, did you guys not turn on the AC? And my agent goes over to the thermostat. She says, oh, it says 90 degrees. I was like, bruh, but it said the AC was on. Bruh.
Oh, we have a problem.
The AC was broke on my closing date.
Oh, no. Y'all got to fix that.
Yeah, they fixed it the next day.
Yeah.
But I was just like, yo, but you know, I'm kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I think about a lot of like worst case scenario situations.
Yeah, worse things have happened.
Right. But I'm sitting here like, but bro, what if I was a year into my house that wasn't under warranty? I would have had to pay for that.
Absolutely.
That's ghetto.
Absolutely. Or this one just happened to me recently.
Okay.
Garage door broke. It just broke. I think Devontae had came home. And I think he was putting the garage door down, I think, or something. Mm-hmm. And it just, boom. And I heard it from upstairs. So I'm thinking he had pulled in and, like, hit the house or something. You know, whatever.
Yeah. Now the door
The shit broke. Snapped. It snapped. There's like a cord or something, completely just snapped. So we had to call around and get estimates on fixing a garage door, and some people wanted to charge $500. This was our engagement weekend. Yeah, this was like Thursday or Friday, I think. I think it was Thursday. Well, of course, I didn't know I was about to get engaged.
Yeah,
so he was stressing out because he was like, no, I have to get like, because when I bring her home, I have to pull into the garage and she can't see. I'm not stressing about it because I'm just like, shoot, let's just make sure we get our cars out. Like, we ain't got to spend the money right now. We don't have to. I mean, we end up getting it fixed, but stuff like that happens around the house, you have to, like, it's never going to happen when you're, like, ready for it to happen. Like, oh, like, I'd be okay if my fridge went out right now. I'd be okay with that. No, like, mine too. That's a fear of mine too. But stuff like that doesn't happen. It always happens when you have other shit going on and you don't have time to like fit. Like, it's like, wow, it's just like one more thing happening to me today. Great.
Right. That's how I felt literally to touch on what you just said. So far the things I've replaced in my house. So one day my dryer just decided to give out. Bought a dryer and it was at the holidays. It was like right around Christmas. I'm like, bruh, I'm supposed to be paying for gifts and the damn dryer goes out. Yeah. So I end up getting a dryer. And then, speaking of holidays, that happened last year around Christmas. This past Christmas, through that Christmas party, my damn garbage disposal breaks.
Oh, yeah, mine's broken too. It's broken a couple times.
I'm like, why? Like, and it broke in the middle of the party. Everyone was like, yo, why is your garbage disposal not working? I'm like, well, is it something inside, whatever. I'm digging down there. I'm like, bruh. And like, it was, the sink was like filling up with water and shit. It was a mess. Like,
has your dishwasher ever broken?
Well, I don't use the dishwasher. It's my drying rack.
Yeah, well, we had a dish, like a glass dish, explode in our dishwasher. So we had to take it apart and get the glass out. They don't tell you about that either.
I thought about this because of your garage door. So granted, I don't have a garage yet. But why the hell the other day? So my laundry doors is two that open up into the laundry room. And for the last few months, they're like sticky. It's hard at times to open them. Why did I snap the door in half? I was pulling the right door and I pulled with all my might and I heard something pop and I was like, I don't even want to look. I looked legit just split right across the door.
What?
Like, yeah, if you go upstairs right now, it's split.
Oh my God.
It's only on the inside though, so on the outside you can't see it. But if you're nosy, you go in, you're like,
go in there and you can see it.
Yeah, I split the shit out of it. I did. I just like, did we really sign up for this?
Also, quick thing I'll say. Why is cable so expensive? I just want to put that on the table.
Who is your provider?
So we have DirecTV, but when I had Spectrum, or Time Warner Cable as they was once called, I don't understand. If I'm telling you that I don't want to have a house phone on my plan, take it off. And then you're telling me that if I take off the house phone, my bill will go up.
Yep.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yep.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah.
And how am I paying? At one point in time on the cable, I know I was paying like over $200 for cable.
Facts.
And it wasn't even like the Super Plus package or like anything crazy like that. It was regular. I mean, I had some, I had the channels, but like $200?
Yeah. When I had my apartment, around the same time I had that $200 utility bill, Time Warner, back when I had them, hit me with a $200 bill, and I was like, now what is this? They're like, oh yeah, your the promo for these channels ran out. Wait, I didn't even know I had those channels.
Right.
So what's happening here?
Right. Mm-hmm.
But like you said, so I used to have DirecTV, and their internet service was trash. And you know, with us working from home, I couldn't deal with that.
Yeah.
So I canceled with them, got Spectrum. Spectrum, their internet is fire, but it definitely still costs, like, it costs more than DirecTV.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, damn, like, between cable, but something else that I really want to touch on, I found another TikTok that made me think about this. It said, name something, what is something that is a complete waste of money that you actually need, though? I feel like the answer is insurance. Because insurance is ridiculous. Because it's insurance of any form, though. Whether
all of
it's
them.
Medical, whether it's car insurance.
All of them.
All that shit is a scam. Because, again...
I'm literally getting mad thinking about insurance.
I think I'm getting loud.
I'm literally getting upset.
My damn self.
Like, ugh.
Because, so, again, something else I found out as an adult. So, once I got my first big boy job, went and got my big boy car, right? Mm-hmm. So, not even a year after I got the car... I was driving on the highway and a rock cracked my windshield. So again, called my parents. I'm like, yo, what do I do? Like, where should I go get this taken care of? Whatever. They're like, oh, go to Safelight. They said, but you may just be better off placing a claim for it because they'll just replace the whole windshield. So I'm like, oh, okay. I go to Safelight and they said, oh, well, this is the price to get it repaired versus replacing the entire windshield. They said, but you should just do a claim because you won't be penalized for it in X, Y, and Z. So I do the claim, right? Okay, so tell me why. I'll never forget. That happened in April. Mm-hmm. My car insurance renews in July. So July came around. I noticed the bill went up. I'm like, why did the bill go up? They said, cost of living went up. I'm like, okay. Following year, I moved out my parents' house because I was waiting for this house to be built. Literally, the day I moved in with my parents, I hit a deer on my way home from work. Oh, it shattered the front of my car was demolished. It caused $6,000 worth of damage. But the crazy thing is, it didn't look like $6,000 worth. That's how you know cars are, like, cheaply made.
Yeah.
So why, again, July comes up. The bill goes up again. I'm like, why do you guys keep increasing my insurance? They're like, oh, well, last year you placed a claim for the windshield. This year you placed a claim for the deer. I'm like, okay. Is that not what you guys are there for?
Right.
Like, in case of emergencies? And
like, you act like I wanted the rock to hit my windshield.
Thank you. So then they're like, oh, well, the way this works is anytime you place a claim, like, it makes your premium go up. So why am I paying an arm, not even an arm and a leg? I'm paying a certain amount every month for car insurance. And mind you, the company I've had for over 10 years. I'm like, so you telling me I've used you guys twice in X amount of years. Why do I feel like you guys are penalizing me?
Yeah.
You guys, I feel like, should be happy I'm utilizing you after all this time, only placing 2 claims. And then both
for things that weren't caused by me. Like, I didn't I didn't make the deer run into me. You know, like, what do you...
Right. And then same thing I feel like for medical insurance, which granted your premium, well, I don't know, your premium for that could go up too for other reasons. But I'm just like, okay, at times it feels like to me, why am I paying all this money for insurance? Because when I go to the doctor for certain things, I'm still having to kick out so much money
Absolutely.
Out of pocket.
Still. It doesn't make any sense to me.
None.
It's like if you get something that's outside of your basic like checkup or whatever, you're still having to pay.
Right.
And that's the part that I didn't understand. And then honestly, some of these doctor's offices be trying to finesse too. So make sure you check, like when you go to the doctor's office, make sure what they have written down is like is being covered under your insurance. Because I went to the doctor one time for a wellness like checkup, and the girl put it in the computer wrong, and they tried to charge me like hundreds of dollars for the visit. So I had to call the insurance people and be like, this is comes with my insurance.
Yeah.
Like, you can't charge me for this. So they had to go back and fix it. So make sure, don't just be paying it when it comes in the mail. Make sure you call and make them walk you through what they're asking you to pay for. Because they will just take your money and not give it back, even if it's wrong. So
going off of what you just said too, I'm actually really triggered because a couple months back, I had a small procedure performed on my back, right? First off, I had the procedure done once before and it wasn't done right. So now I got to come back a second time to have the same thing done, hoping that the results are actually right this time around. Yeah. So while I get the bill and I'm like, okay, like insurance paid this amount, I'm responsible for this amount. Okay, cool. So I pay it. Why a month later I get yet another bill? Yep. So I'm like, what is this? Bro, I look and they're like, it's a bill from the lab, though.
Yeah, don't forget about those because you'll get a bill from your doctor, but you will get a bill if they have to send your like blood off to the lab or whatever. You're gonna get a separate bill, and they're not the same bill. Okay, that's two different bills.
Bruh, I'm just like, why can't you guys not just try to come up with a system to where we're getting like everything in one bill?
I shouldn't get two different things. And then also, like, stop sending, like, can you send something to my email? Because, like, because, like, us, this generation, I don't know about you, but I don't check the mail like that.
Yo, I check the mail once a month.
If you're sending me something that you want me to pay you better hit up the email, baby, because otherwise you ain't gonna get your money. Because I don't check my mail like that.
I damn sure don't. When given the option, I always go paperless.
Yeah.
Stop sending me the... You know what? Speaking of paperless, so I'm on the, I think it's the energy savings plan for the electric bill or whatever. So for those that don't know, it's a flat rate that you get for the entire year. Why are you guys still sending me a paper notice, like a paper bill saying the bill is the same amount it's been all year, is due on the same day every month, and the thing is, I'm on auto draft. Can you stop sending me that paper bill? I could have swore I asked y'all.
And just take the money out of my account.
Just take it out the account.
Because, like, what are you doing? You're wasting paper. Y'all want to save the planet so bad, but y'all be ready to send paper. Stop doing that.
And it doesn't just be one little form either.
No, it's a booklet.
A booklet.
That thing be heavy. And it had one line up there for your little $40 balance. Like, stop sending that.
Oh my gosh. Yo, I'm so weak.
Ghetto.
But I'm trying to think. It's something else that I thought of along with the insurance that really pissed me off. It was mainly that car insurance that really triggered me, though.
Insurance pisses me off a lot.
But, let's dial back to the home buying process real quick, because I just talked to a friend about this, too. So, it really pays to know people just in general, right? But if you personally know a real estate agent, please just work with them. Because when I tell you, I probably had the most stressful home buying experience. It was not a joyous occasion whatsoever for me.
Really? I don't remember.
It was trash from start to finish.
You didn't like your real estate agent?
So the agent, she was all right. She really wasn't my problem. A lot of the issues I had were outside of her.
Okay.
Excuse me. So, for starters. Speaking of it pays to know people, I'm going to go ahead and throw this information out there. So for a lot of you that, depending on what state or city that you live in, some places oftentimes require you to put down a deposit of some sort, like a down payment or whatever. But I know depending on, a lot of places have certain programs you can apply for that they will basically take care of your closing costs and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Well, by the time I was trying to buy a house, they did away with all that stuff here in the city. So anytime you buy a house here, for the most part, you got to put money down. Mm-hmm. So I learned that you can actually use your 401k to, do a one-time withdrawal to do your down payment. So I did that, and once I notified them, because that's one of the first things they asked is, oh, well, how do you plan on paying closing costs? I'm like, oh, well, I'm just getting a loan from my 401k. They're like, oh, okay. Do you know every 2 weeks I had to submit I had to submit my pay stubs every 2 weeks. So it could also show, and no, not also show, I also had to print out my 401k balance so they can see what was being contributed every other week. What? Yes.
And you had to send that to who?
To the what's the technical name? The loan people.
Okay.
So I was the lender. That's the word I was looking for.
That's like, I feel like that's knowing too much of my business.
Thank you. So, me trying to be independent, I'm like, I want to learn this process for myself for next time, so on and so forth. So at first I was letting it slide, but they kept requesting so many other things. Mm-hmm. And like you said, I'm like, now I feel like y'all in my business. Yeah. So when I talked to my parents about it, they were just like, and it was specifically the underwriter for the lending company that kept reaching out to me. And my parents are like, we bought several properties. We've never even spoken to an underwriter. So why are you having so many conversations with him? So long story short, right, bruh, I think the day before, not the day before. So, you know how you get your closing cost estimate? Mm-hmm. I never forget, I got that like a month or two before my closing date. And they were like, we exaggerate all the costs on this form, in hopes of you actually getting money back at closing. So I'm like, okay, cool. Why the day before closing, I got what I owed, and it was more. It was like, hell no. And it wasn't by a little bit. Yeah. It was like $2,000 more.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
So I'm like, what the hell? So like, I'm going through the numbers, and I'm just like, how did you mess up $2,000?
Yeah, it's not like a little amount.
Right. So when I talk to them, they're like, oh, we accidentally left out this amount or whatever. Well, that sounds like a you problem, not a me problem.
Yeah, you can't be accidentally.
I was already prepped to give you this tomorrow, to wire this amount to you. You can't just be like, give me $2,000 extra dollars.
That's not how that goes.
20.
Yeah.
So at that point, again, I had to turn back into a child and reach out to my parents and be like, yo, is this typical? My dad said, actually, call him on three-way right now. I was at work. My dad said, yeah, call him on three-way right, not now, but right now.
Right now.
I called, and when I tell you my dad snapped, and then, how about I got the closing the next day, the lending people didn't even show up.
What?
It was myself, my mom, and the lawyer. So we were sitting there waiting to see if the lending people would show up. And my mom was like, so are they just not coming? And then finally the lawyer is like, you know what? I'm actually not surprised because this particular company actually had a rough closing a couple months back. Me and my mom were curious. We was like, so what happened? Yeah. She said, so some people moved down from out of state. She said, and when they got to closing, he told them they owe additional money. So the same thing happened to them that happened to me. And they got there, except the family they were assisting with almost fought him. Yeah. So she had to kick him out. Yeah. And I can't remember what ended up happening, but she said it was such a mess that those lending people hadn't been back since. And I'm just like, okay, so with me being a first-time home buyer, this is ghetto. I was like, buying a home is already stressful because there's a lot of other stuff you got to pay for prior to the closing stuff, like all the different inspections and the deposits that you got to do and all that stuff. I'm like, bruh, these are things that I actually feel like they should talk more about in school. Whether that's high school or at least college.
At least college. They need to talk about the home buying process. They need to talk about taxes. Teach people about taxes.
Taxes.
I don't understand why it's not being taught in schools. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Teach people. Okay? It's insane.
I'm not gonna lie. When tax season come around, I just get my little W-2s, and I know you can do it online yourself, but again, I feel like the way my anxiety and stuff is set up, I'm like,
I do mine myself.
Everyone says that, but I just feel like it's going to be the one time I mess something up and the IRS going to come after me.
No, I promise you it's so easy. Like, because at one point I wasn't doing it myself. I was taking it to a lady. Mm-hmm. And then one year I was like, let me just like really look at the forms that she got. Mm-hmm. And I realized she was just putting it into TurboTax.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, shit.
You might as well
if she can do it, I can do it myself and save myself some money.
Yeah.
And it's not like I have a bunch of like kids or like a bunch of properties or anything. So it's not a lot. It's just my job W-2s and my house or whatever. Yeah. And but yeah, you should do it yourself. I mean, it's really, and I had anxiety over that too. But after you do it the first time, it's like it's not a big deal. I mean, Devontae be doing his on his phone. Like you don't even. Do it on your phone. Just enter your taxes real quick.
Let me knock this out real quick.
Yeah. It's really not an issue. They walk you through every step. Like, if you miss something they feel like you should have filled in, it'll be like, are you sure you don't need to fill this in? Or, like, whatever. It's really, really easy to use.
But now that you brought up taxes, something that also just triggered me. So, I don't know if this happened to you, but when I first bought my house, everyone was like, oh, you're about to get a crazy tax write-off. Da-da-da-da-da. Man, I got them taxes. I said, you guys.
What is this? Mm-hmm.
I literally, bro, I was sitting across from the woman that prepped my taxes, right?
This can't be right. Mm-hmm.
I literally was like, ooh, did you get my housing information? Did you skip over that? She said,
I have a house now.
She said, that's right here on page so-and-so. I said, oh, so why am I getting back the same amount I got back last year? Yeah. She's just like, oh, yeah, that, I guess whatever was in place prior to Trump taking office, Trump took back. So you don't get a nice little write-off on this like you used to back in the day. I'm like, wow, so I've been bamboozled. Mm-hmm. Wow, so just give me my few little coins.
Give me my paper so I can go home.
I just knew you was really about to break me off.
Listen,
but now I'm just
you had a trip planned. You had a trip planned with that money. I know you did. I know. Can't go nowhere.
Nowhere. I can just go get a meal.
Yep, that's it.
I can eat something to make me feel good. Okay. To fill in that emptiness. The emptiness. Mm-hmm. That cash was supposed to be filling up. Now I gotta fill it up with food.
It's so ghetto here. It's so ghetto.
I'm curious. I deadass really want to know what it would be like to experience living outside the States. To see how certain other countries do, like, when it comes to, like, taxes, if they even have those.
Right, yeah.
And, like, especially, like, their health insurance and stuff like that. Because for us to be, like, this country that is so praised.
Let me tell you something. It get too more crazy here. I'm out.
Really? Where do you think you'll go?
I don't know. I don't have a destination. But it get too more wild over here in this US of A. Me and mine, we gonna get in a plane and be out.
And see, I feel like you got to have a backup plan for just a lot of things that occur in life, And I'm just like, if the US gets to a point where I'm like, I can't do it here, where am I going to go? Because
I don't know if I would go to an island.
Naturally, I would say Canada, but I really can't get with the cold weather.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
So
shit.
I'm just like,
Canada would be cute, but like no. I don't know where I would go. I don't know if I would go to an island. I just got to make sure I go somewhere that has good food, and I don't know if like Europe is gonna
do it for you.
I don't know if it's gonna do it for me. So.
I feel like it's low key. Granted, as much traveling as we've done, we've never. I don't think I've heard anyone in our group say they want to go to Europe.
Well, I know why I don't want to go because I this is not to offend anyone.
Right.
I wanted to go to Paris just to go. But I heard that the food isn't that good. And it could have just been like the people that I heard from or whatever. But like when I go on vacation, I like to eat. Right. That's like the main theme.
Main thing.
So and like drink. If I can't do that and the food is like not good, that would just be a waste of a vacation to me.
Excuse me. I feel like, excuse me. I definitely want to go to Paris. I mean, my name is Paris. So
yeah, I feel like Paris is cute, but it's just like,
what y'all gonna give me to eat? Though, aside from the food, the climate got to be right though, because again, I don't like cold weather. So like for me, like I want to go to like London, Paris, Rome. I want to go to all those places, but
do it get cold there? That's probably a raggedy question to ask. I just don't know. Like,
thing. I heard that like the climate in the UK is kind of trash. I hear they have an overcast like every day. And I hear that it gets pretty cold and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't like it when it rains here. So why would I go somewhere else that is cloudy almost every day? Like, I don't know.
I don't know where, but I just feel like if I'm going to leave the United States, I need to be somewhere with, like, my people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely not going to Europe because... So it'll be like...
The colonizers.
I'm not going with the colonizers. So it may be somewhere like Dominican Republic, like a little island or something. Don't know if I would go all the way to Africa.
I was just about to say, why not Africa?
I don't know yet. I don't know if I'm willing to commit.
Yeah.
But if I still wanted to be like close, but not in the United States, like not have to follow their rules, then maybe like a little Dominican Republic or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shoot, maybe even Mexico. I don't know.
You know what? My brother actually, on our last episode, said that Mexico was really lit. That's one of his favorite places to play. Yeah. He said their way of life is actually really dope.
Heard it's nice. Just stay away from the cartel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty simple. I don't know. I mean, don't mess with the drug lords.
Yeah.
Stay out of the way. Like,
yeah, just like here, you avoid, that lifestyle. We're not about that life.
Yeah, I'm not about that life.
Yeah.
Not at all. I'm just going to work. Come on. Chill.
Listen. Go to the beach.
And that's it.
And eat you some tacos.
Okay.
And some, oh my God. I really want some Mexican food. I gotta do that later.
Gotta get me Cancun.
So I actually have another spot that you need to try. We can discuss off camera. This ain't the sound.
Oh, my bad.
You were tuned in.
I was in it.
You were definitely tuned in. But we love our Mexican food. So maybe Mexico is a look. Maybe they need to be... Look, they need to stop trying to cross over here, and we need to start crossing over there.
Let me come over there. Let me be an immigrant. Let me cross the border. Like, come on. Man, it's rough over here.
Hella rough. But I just realized that we're actually up on our time.
Oh.
Pretty quick, right?
I can't see that far.
Once you... Wait, what? The way insurance set up?
Oh.
See, if insurance would do us right, we'll be willing to
Maybe I would get glasses.
Listen, I'm not about that life though because I had the surgery. I couldn't do it.
I can't. My eyesight is not that bad, but it's like because of the light and stuff. It's like the glare, but I probably need glasses. I just not gonna pay.
When I tell you, I literally feel like I was reborn. Like I
got a whole new set of eyes.
Listen, I see life so differently ever since my surgery.
I just cannot. They be playing in your eye.
Okay, so disclaimer for those of you that are thinking about doing LASIK. If you want, I can do maybe like a mini vlog about my experience and stuff like that.
That's a good idea
because like. I got a lot of stuff to say about the LASIK that I don't think they tried to do their best to prep you for the surgery, but it's just different. It hits different when you're actually in the middle of it opposed to reading and watching all the videos and all that stuff. It's different, but I will say at the end of the day, it's worth it. Like I said, like the fact that I was blind.
And now he see, that's a word. That's a word.
First I was blind, but now I see.
Oh, don't make me shout up in here. That's a word. Okay? For anybody out there who needs it, that's a word.
Listen. But no, seriously, if you want to know about my experience, just let me know, and I'll probably do a mini vlog.
Comment below.
Yeah, and I think I still got like some photos and stuff from like the different stuff that they set you up with the day of surgery. It's crazy, but without further ado or whatever, we're going to go ahead and close out tonight's episode. Again, shout out to my good sis Sarita for coming back. One time for the one time. Of course, I'm going to try to have her on the next season as well from time to time. And is there anything you want to say to people before we close out?
No, just like, comment, subscribe, swipe up, all that. Tap the notification bell. You know how the YouTubers be doing.
That part.
Do all of that. Share with your friends.
You know what? Actually, quick question. Last time you was on the episode, we was talking about your business that you was about to start. How is that coming along?
It's coming along great. We're in the final stages of design.
Ooh.
So next is like printing my products and stuff. So I'm excited. I'll probably launch in September.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh.
I know. So I'm excited. It's right around the corner. But I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited. So be on the lookout for that as well.
Yeah. I'm going to put, like I said at the start of the video, I'm going to put all of her information, as I do with everyone's information, put it in the description down below so you can follow her, hit her up, see what hood rat things she got going on.
You know what I'm saying?
But again, thank you guys for tuning in, especially if this was your first time. Like she said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you comment. Let us know how you felt about tonight's episode, especially regarding other topics that you guys want to hear in future episodes. But with that being said, till next time, deuces.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Sip on This with A Paris. About to get lit with these topics. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for the love and your time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Without further ado, I bring